Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I hate Mondays. I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know either.
Okay. Well, I'm Anne-Marie, and
I'm Michael.
we're here to talk to you guys about true crime.
Yes. Shouldn't you explain the name a little bit?
Yeah, well, the thing is that I want to keep the suspense a bit about the name because it's about a specific case that I will.
Some other day?
Yeah. So for now, we're going to keep it. Ooh.
Okay.
Is that good for you?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, full disclaimer, my first language is French. So if I struggle in English,
That's the reason why?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I already know, so.
Yeah, you know, but you guys don't know.
Disclaimer, we're not professionals. We're not police officers. We're not detectives. We're not undercover cops. I don't know what else. So we're just regurgitating stories, I suppose.
Yeah, that we researched.
Yeah, research stories. That's what we do.
Exactly. One thing I would like to do maybe is like focus more on like Quebecois story because we are from Quebec and Canadian stories, but we might dig into
We're digging into everything.
Everything.
Even if it's a weird cult from Oklahoma.
Yo, I'm so down for cult stories. I love cult stories. They fascinate me because I don't understand. Like, what the hell? What the hell? How? Why?
I don't know.
Anyway, you want to
So tell me your first story, yes.
Okay. Oh, and another thing we should add is that each week we're going to do our own episode and the other person's going to listen to it. First time, they have no idea what we're going to talk about, so they're going to react to it.
On the spot.
On the spot is exactly what I was looking for. Anywho, so today, first episode of this podcast, I am going to talk to you about the story of Mekayla Bali. Going into the story, I just want to tell my source. So I did look into Wikipedia just to have like a general idea. Of course, I don't base my whole thing on Wikipedia because that would be a little silly. There's a whole website about her, probably made by her mom. It's bringmekaylabali.home.com. I also use the RCMP website, leaderpost.com, CBC News website, and I've listened to, shout out to them, True North True Crime podcast episode.
Oh, we're giving them a plug, eh?
Anyway, okay. So Mekayla was born on July 2nd, 1999 in Regina, Saskatchewan. She was last seen in Yorkton, Saskatchewan on April 12, 2016 at age 16. I will come back to that. Before disappearing, Mekayla lived with her mom, her aunt, her maternal grandmother, and two younger siblings in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. So Mekayla was described by her mom as a shy and quiet girl. And fun fact, this is not a fun story, but this fact is fun. I want to shine light on the story because the more we talk about it, the more we have chance to figure out what the hell happened to her. Anyway.
Keeping more people's eyes open?
Yeah, exactly. But in high school, she was interested in the same
activities?
Yeah, as me. Like, she played violin. She was in the drama club. Like, I did those things. So I was like, that's really interesting. She also did a lot of landscaping photography, which I like too. And apparently she really liked the Hunger Games. Now, I haven't read that. I can't.
Hunger Games? I've only seen one movie. I didn't like it very much. Anyways.
Yeah, whatever. She was attending a Catholic school, Sacred Heart High School, and she was in grade 11. According to her mom, she was a pretty good kid, not someone who would be like high risk of disappearing, of being caught in some sort of...
She was just like a normal kid.
Yeah, she was not like dealing with street gang. According to her mom, like nothing was making her at risk of disappearing. She was described as very caring for her friends. She was there for them. She was conscious of their needs. That being said, before she disappeared, apparently she expressed feelings of unhappiness and needing help by texting her friends. Like she would say like, "Oh, I need help" or whatever.
Was she
And
going through a depression?
well, maybe it's not really clear, but apparently she was in some sort of emotional distress or like because there's some. It's been said that she was doing self harm to herself.
Okay.
So, by the way, we don't judge related to mental health. Honestly, we don't judge about that. And we would never think that someone disappeared or got murdered or whatever because they had a mental health issue.
Putting it
So,
out there.
yeah. Honestly, there's not that much information on her case because we don't know what the hell happened. Seriously. Like, you'll know because I will go into details of the timeline
Okay.
of her last day before she disappeared. So at the time she disappeared, she was 5'2". She weighed 114 pounds. She had like ash blonde hair. She has a light complexion, blue eyes. She does also wear some glasses sometimes. She had some acne at that time, and apparently she was taking Accutane for it. So let's jump into what happened the day she disappeared. Cause yeah, it's very odd. So on April 11th, so the day before she disappeared, she texted a friend to ask for a ride for the local TD bank. And she also reached out a couple times to that bank during the day, talking to like customer service. And she got $25 wired to her account. From where, I don't know, but she got $25 wired into her account.
Interesting.
Yeah, very. Also, that evening, she texted several friends saying that she was unhappy about something and that she needs some help. She was also talking on Snapchat, and like, unlike your phone, where people can find who you texted and have a record, like your phone company can have a record of that. Like those type of apps, it just
And there's no
there's no
data.
yeah, you can't find it. So like God knows who she was texting. So this could explain stuff. I don't know. We'll come back to it later. So yeah, on April 12, so that's the day she disappeared, at 6:41 a.m., Mekayla texted the same friend again asking
What
for
year?
2016.
Oh, so it's almost 10 years ago.
Yes. 8.
8. Yeah. Almost 10.
Yes. So yeah, at 6:41 in the morning, she texted the same friend again, asking for a ride to the TD bank again, but the friend refused because obviously at 6:41 a.m. the bank is not open. At what time does the TD bank open? Like 9?
I think 8 or 9.
Yeah, so it was not open. So she refused. Michaela's grandmother drove her to school, and Michaela got there between 8:10 and 8:20 in the morning. The school surveillance camera shows her putting a binder inside her locker at 8:21 and then leaving the school from the back entrance at 8:30. Now, this is how we know where she was the last day because of camera surveillance. Yeah, so that's how we can follow her throughout the day where she went. So, yeah. And I saw that footage of her putting the binder.
You saw it on YouTube or wherever?
I think I just saw photos of her putting her binder in her. And her backpack is pretty full at that time when she puts it in there. And she puts something in her locker. And then yeah, she leaves the school at 8:30 by the back entrance. Another surveillance camera caught her walking southeast. So she's walking from the school along the railroad track. Between 8:40 and 8:50 in the morning, she went to a pawn shop, Terry's Pawn and Bargain. And as told by the owner who was there in the morning. Like I think she just opened, or she was gonna open her cash. Like she was prepping her day. The owner said that Mekayla wanted to pawn a silver ring, but the owner said like it's gonna take too much time to evaluate the ring, and it's just silver, so it's never worth very much. So like I'm not gonna be able to give you much for it because of my time evaluating it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
The owner didn't give her any offer, and she leaves. Between 8:55 and 8:59, Mekayla went to the TD Bank. Finally, she reaches it, and she withdraws $55 from her account. Apparently, also, she talked to customer service at TD Bank that day. She was seen then by another surveillance camera walking east on Broadway Street. At 9:10, she enters a Tim Hortons and a Wendy's. You know those ones, Michael, because you worked into one of those?
Yep, I know all about them. There's some here in Montreal.
Wow. I thought it was just a Canadian thing. I mean, like a rest of Canada thing.
No, there's some.
Oh, interesting.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyway, so she buys a drink and she sits down at the table. Now, what she's doing there is interesting because it looks like she was taking her phone apart before putting it back together. Now, was she just having like battery trouble, or like her phone was doing some, like, you know, when your phone is like acting up, you're going to restart it, or you're maybe going to open it. Like it's 2016, so she probably has some sort of phone that she can remove the battery. I don't know.
like an Android phone?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe she was changing her SIM card, which, I mean, we don't know if that's what happened. But if she did that, like, why?
Don't you need identification to get a SIM card?
Well, maybe she already had the SIM card. The story doesn't say.
Okay.
Because, like, who the hell to ask? You'll see. We don't have that much information on that case. It's, like, crazy. It's just, like, we're thinking maybe that's what happened. Because I think on the surveillance camera, you cannot, like, really see well exactly what she's doing with her phone. Like, the next 15 minutes later, she will leave the restaurant, then come back inside, then leave again through another exit.
What's up with her and going through different exits?
Yeah, I don't know. During the next 25 minutes, she is seen by the cameras around the restaurant, and she's walking around the restaurant like in a counterclockwise direction. At 9:49, she returned to Timmy's and Wendy's, and she sat at another table than the one that she was sitting previously, like half an hour before. And then during the next 20 minutes, she uses her phone a lot. Looks like she's texting a lot. Looks like she's on the phone, talking to people on the phone, not talking to people in the restaurant. And at 10:12, she texts a friend, "Hey, I need help." Followed by, "Never mind, I figured it out." What did she need help with, and what did she figure out? I don't know. Then she leaves the restaurant again and then re-enters again. At 10:43, she asks an older lady to help her rent a hotel room, but the lady declines. Like, I don't know if she needed an older lady because she was too young to rent a hotel room, or maybe she needed the money. Like, it wasn't said. And the lady, I think the lady was interviewed by the RCMP, and like she didn't know why. She just said she didn't help her. Mekayla, after that lady declines, Mekayla uses her phone again and then leaves the restaurant for the last time. So that's the last time she's seen at that Tim Hortons Wendy's. At 10:45, she is seen walking west on Broadway Street East. So she takes a turn on 7th Avenue, then returns on Broadway Street East, continuing towards west until she's out of the camera's view for an hour. So like where she's walking, there's no cameras following her. During that time, between like 11 and 11:45, she asked an employee at the local STC, so Saskatchewan Transportation Company, when the next bus for Regina leaves. She is told that it's not before 5 p.m. It's like 11-ish. So she's not going to sit there all day. So she just leaves and doesn't buy a ticket. At 11:35, she texts a friend, "I'll see you at lunch." I think they had planned to go like to a restaurant or like fast food and grab some lunch somewhere. At 11:59, she goes back to her school and she meets with two students in the cafeteria. She tells them that she wants to take a bus to go to Regina for vacation. And that's just something that was told by her friends, that she was talking about like going to Regina or going somewhere on some sort of vacation. Now, mind you, we're in April and she's a student in grade 11. So like,
Going to Regina in April.
yeah, why would you go on vacation when you're a student? Like
You go when your parents go.
yeah, which is in the summer because you have school. Like you don't just take a vacation out of the blue in the middle of April. Like the school year is not done.
Right.
So it's just odd.
But she was just talking that she wanted to go, not
Yes.
her, not the rest of her family. It was just her saying, "I want to go."
Yeah,
Not-
yeah, it was
okay.
just her. I don't know if her family knew anything about that. Honestly, I don't think so. At 12:03, so she didn't stay very long at school because at 12:03 she leaves school, and that is the last time she's seen at the school. She then goes to the Trail Stop restaurant, which is at the bus station, is the restaurant of the bus station, and she orders a poutine. She leaves at around 1:45. RCMP says she was last seen at 1:45 p.m. because she won't appear on any other surveillance camera and she did not get onto any bus that day, according to the STC. So at the end of the school day, Mekayla's grandma goes to pick her up, which is, I think, around like 3:45. She picks her up. Well, she waits to pick her up. She's in the parking lot and she doesn't see her. And then she's told that Mekayla wasn't seen at school all day, which is like somewhat true because like she was there in the morning, like what, 10 minutes in the morning and then like 5 minutes at lunch. That's it. Like, so her teachers didn't see her or the principal or whatever, just like some friends saw her. Also, apparently she had a violin lesson at 4 p.m. that day, which she missed, obviously. Then the mom and the grandma talked together and they started looking for her and they reached out. Like that's at 4 p.m. that she misses her class. And then they like start to look for her. And it's at 8 p.m. that they reach for the police to,
All that time.
yeah, at 8 p.m. Now, I don't want to blame the family for calling like 4 hours later because like,
Maybe they thought she was with some friends or something.
yeah, obviously, like, you know, I mean, I didn't skip school I didn't skip class in high school, but you did. Like, your parents didn't necessarily, I don't mean that in a mean way, but like, your parents weren't necessarily worried if you skipped school and then you didn't come home at like 4 p.m. on the dot, right?
Right.
Because
I
maybe
think they would ask, or maybe we just called. I don't remember, or I think we just went to our house.
Oh, okay.
I think it just depended on whoever we were skipping class with.
I mean, I don't know, because like when I was in high school, and you too, obviously, we didn't have like cell phones, or like I had a cell phone like in my latest grade.
I had a cell phone.
I had a cell phone when I was like 16.
Oh, I had it grade 11, and yeah, I think that's when I started having a cell phone. Was grade 11. So
Grade 11 is like not the last year, eh? In high school for you guys?
For me, it's grade 12.
Yeah, okay.
So
Because
I
here
don't know.
is secondary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So I think I had a cell phone when I started working, probably at 16.
Sounds about right.
But like even when you had even though you had a cell phone, like you wouldn't call your parents all the time on a cell phone or text them much because back in the days, texting would cost a fortune. Like you couldn't.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you only had so many text messages in your plan, like 500 or something.
Yeah. And like it was so hard because you had to press like three times on the three to make an E or whatever. I don't remember, but like
The
it
good old
was,
days.
yeah, it was not efficient. So like we were not that much on the phone. So I don't have necessarily the experience of having a phone. Like, but for me, it was like I didn't have to notify my parents much. And like when I got home, they didn't pick me up from school. I got home the first. And then at some point, my mom got here. And then at some point, my dad got here. So they were not like worried dead, but it was no one picking me up. So they wouldn't know I wasn't here. I wasn't here. So like I feel like there's more like room for like not panicking about your kid not being there and maybe you call the police later. But like for her, it's 2016. She had a cell phone and her grandma was picking her up. So I don't want to put any blame on the family, honestly. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know. It was 8 p.m. regarding. So the next morning, so April 13, the next morning after she disappeared, around 6:50, that's when her phone was turned off. And that phone was never turned back on.
Oh, she turned it off.
I don't know. We don't know. Because
So her mom and aunt or whoever tried to reach her by the phone.
I guess so, but that's the RCMP who says that it was turned off. Yeah. Like she disappeared on April 12th at 1:45. That's the last time we have a sighting of her. And yeah, her phone is turned off on the next day, the next morning. And then nothing was used. Like it was not turned back on. Her social media accounts were not used. Like nothing happens. 3 months later, a friend sent her a Snapchat message and the message was seen.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is it Mekayla that saw it? Did she have a new phone with her old Snapchat account? Is it someone else? Like who viewed the message? Is there a possibility that the message was viewed without no one doing that? I kind of don't believe that. Like you can't just see a message if you don't open an app. So yeah, I don't know how that's possible, but it's because like on well, you don't use Snapchat obviously, but like on Instagram or like Messenger.
Yeah, it says seen or.
Exactly. So it's the same thing on Snapchat. Like you'll see if someone's seen it. So it says seen. So how? How was it seen? Was it just a bug? I don't know.
I don't think that would be a bug.
It's just
Unless
odd.
there's something in their policy, but I highly doubt it. Maybe, I mean, I'm no programmer and I don't work there, but maybe after a while it can't just sit in the cloud somewhere for so long, right? You're just occupying space at that point. So maybe the computer just registered it as seen and then it does, like 24 hours later, it probably deletes it. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it was shown as seen. And apparently 2 years later, the same friend sent her a Snapchat at the graduation. And that one was not.
It's not seen?
I don't think so.
Oh.
So I don't know what happened 3 months after. Also, her bank account was not used. Never.
So it's still open.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know if a bank ever closes a bank account if it's
Well,
not in use.
I think maybe if there's a missing person, they probably keep it open. So if you like, if you end up in like Toronto or something and you cash out, they know exactly what bank that you were at and what time, so they probably can see surveillance. Because like the ATM machines have a camera inside,
Yes.
so they, yeah, like I said,
Yeah. I mean, if also, I don't know if it's a bank policy, but like if she ever needs money, like Who knows if she's still alive today or whatever. Like we don't know what happened. Like maybe there's a policy in the bank to keep it open in case of emergency. I wouldn't know. Honestly. If you guys are working for a bank or whatever and you know the answer to that question, please reach out to us on any social media platform because we really don't know. I did work for a bank once, but I never had to deal with that. So I do not know. Yeah. And she also does not have her passport with her. Now, what I read online is like, oh, she doesn't have her passport, so she cannot travel wherever. But at the same time, like, people make fake passports here and there. Like, I don't know.
I know you can go around Canada on an airplane with just your driver's license.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. So
But did she have her driver's license?
I don't think she did.
Okay.
Because her grandma picks her up from school. So
I don't know if your health card works, but every province has a different health card. Some is like a plastic and some is paper. So I highly doubt that a health card will get you on an airplane.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, honestly. And I don't know how much money she has. Because there's rumors saying that she was going to get $5,000 into her account, but that money never showed up in her account. So, like, I don't know what she was talking about, but that's like, is it for real or is just like some friends are saying things? Because the thing is that on this case, there's a lot of theories because we don't have a lot of
information.
Yeah, we don't. So there's a lot of people online saying all kinds of theories, which I won't dig in because.
That'll be interesting, though.
Okay, maybe next time. Also, mind you, there is a Interpol watch on her. So like if there's like a missing watch on her on Interpol, which is like a international criminal police organization. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, Interpol.
Okay.
Because I had an incident. Well, I don't know if it's an incident, but I was in Colombia and I was in Armenia, and to go from Bogota to Armenia, you can fly there, but you can also drive, and the drive takes like 10 hours, even though it's the same distance between Ottawa and Montreal, except there's a ginormous mountain in the middle.
Which we don't have between Ottawa and Montreal.
So you're going up the mountain and down the mountain. So anyways, I had to go back to Bogota, and I didn't want to have my uncle drive 10 hours and then drive all the way back. And he said it was no problem, but I didn't want him to do that. So I asked if they can somehow send me my passport. And I remember being at the airport in Armenia, and there was like Interpol, and like they were just questioning me about the passport. I don't know. That's what I remember.
Whoa, you got involved with Interpol. That's interesting.
And they were showing me a paper with like my name on it, like a bunch of different times. I remember. I was just like, what? I've been here the whole time. Like, I had my other cousins and stuff, like, what the hell, man? I don't know.
Well, you were in a different country. Like, you're a Canadian citizen. So
Right.
maybe it's like you pulled some.
I pulled some shady business
Yeah,
with my passport.
that's what they
Could
thought.
be.
Like, you raised the flag, obviously, for Interpol to jump in.
Yeah. Like, here, I'm asking them to ship a passport. I finally did get my passport, and it was the day before my flight.
Good job. Okay, back to the case. So yeah, she doesn't have that. And the assistant commissioner for the RCMP, her name is Jennifer Hébert, says, and this is in quote, "This is why the case is so disturbing. The fact that a 17-year-old is able to be missing with no footprint in this digital age, that is very disturbing to us as investigator. Because she doesn't have any
Her
any
digital
trace.
yeah.
Like she doesn't use any social media. Now, there is those apps that I was talking to you about that like the message disappear, but still like her phone is turned off.
I don't understand. Like, couldn't they just get the GPS thing from the phone somehow? Like, oh, she was near this tower or whatever.
Yeah,
like she turned it off.
Yeah, it was turned off, so they cannot ping it anymore.
Yeah, but where was the last point before she turned off. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, I didn't
Like,
find
what
that
towers
information.
was she connected to before it turned off? That could give a better. I don't know.
That's a very good point. I don't know if the RCMP went into that or not.
Do they even have the power to?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. Because I know, like, let's say you call 911, okay? And you say, like, I'm stuck in the trunk of the car, okay? Because that's an actual story that happened. Someone called from 911. That's another case. But, like, someone called from 911 and they were in the trunk and they were trying to reach 911 and they're like, I'm in a trunk. So, like, if you have, like, a reason to believe that someone's in danger, you're going to ping the phone. Like, the dispatch or the police department there, the station, they're gonna ping the phone to figure out like where the hell
Where?
are you going.
Right.
It's especially if you're in a trunk and you don't know. But I don't know, like
Yeah, but you have Google Maps. You can see like where you're at
yeah, I don't know if they dug like really deep in her.
in the trunk story.
No, the trunk.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The trunk. Like, if you're in the trunk and you don't know where you're going, I mean, you can know like it. It depends on the situation if they take it or take your phone or not. But you have Google Maps to see where you're going.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the situation.
Right.
Maybe like you're not able to. I think that person that I'm referring to, they were stuck and like they couldn't reach the phone. All they could say was like Siri, call 911. Holy shit, I was afraid that my Siri was gonna pick that up. Let's not do that. Anyway. So there's like a few very faint leads. So let's go into like who could have potentially maybe been a suspect, but not even, honestly. So according to Mekayla's friends, she was speaking with some guys online. One of them being Christopher, a guy from North Carolina, who she was talking to through Instagram. And apparently, Christopher was going to visit his mother in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. CBC reached out to Christopher, who told them that Mekayla used to self-harm in the past, and that he was helping people deal with that. Yeah, so Christopher told CBC that he has helped people cope with self-harm, and he told them that he told her to reach for God.
Okay.
Anywho, so the RCMP and the U.S. police identified Christopher. They went to his house. They questioned him. Even the house was searched, but nothing confirms that Christopher actually was gonna go to Saskatoon and that he actually went. So that's
He went prior before the cops came.
what do you mean?
Like, he went up to Saskatoon, and then when came home, they searched him.
No, he never went to
Oh,
Saskatoon.
okay.
Like she was saying to her friends that this guy was supposed to come to Saskatoon and she was going to meet him. But there's no evidence that he ever went to Saskatoon or even had a plan of going to Saskatoon. Now, mind you, I don't know if they looked into their Instagram conversation or whatever, but it takes a lot of time apparently to get the information from like Meta and Facebook, Instagram to like actually be able to dig into a missing person's
Files.
social media account. Like apparently it's really hard and it can take like 10 months or whatever.
Why is this shit so hard?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's actually a problem with like missing person because like you want to know what they're doing now or you want to go into their conversation and apparently it's really hard to get there, like get the access. Christopher was no leads. Like
It didn't lead anywhere.
no. Then apparently she was also talking to this guy named Josh. They met during an event in Churchbridge in Saskatchewan, where Josh lives. And but once again, he said, I think to the RCMP, that he hasn't talked to Mekayla 3 years before her disappearance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he hasn't talked to her for 3 years, and then she disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Mekayla had an ex-boyfriend whose name was not released because he's a minor probably, and like minor have a
Right.
protection on them. Let's say like you're involved into some shady business, your name shouldn't be out there if you're a minor. It's except if you're a missing person, like obviously your name's gonna be out there. So it apparently they had a good relationship after their breakup. Also, since he was in school when Mekayla was last seen, well, he's not like he has like an alibi. I'm doing quotation mark if I can say, because like we don't know what happened to her, so like like there's no there's nothing. So yeah, he's not a suspect in this affair.
Yeah, or case.
Yeah, he's not a suspect in this case. And also he was helping the police on their investigation. So
It's
that's
cooperative. So
yeah. Which doesn't mean anything, to be honest. Like you could be cooperative and
yeah, but if you
actually be
did
the murderer, but
do you know
well,
any murderers that do that?
yeah.
Okay, well, I want to hear about it later.
Yeah, on another episode, like some often murderers, this is where you know that I love true crime and Michael doesn't necessarily listen to it that much.
You're just telling me. I'm already like kind of spooked.
Like
I don't feel at ease.
often a murderer will come back into like where he murdered the victim, or even worse, like he will be like with the volunteer group search for the person, let's say in a missing person's looking for the body or whatever, like this person's going to be around trying to find more. Like this happens in murder cases, which is very odd, but that's often like more like sociopaths or like psychopaths, but we'll come to that at another time because this is not the case today. Also, Mekayla's father, because she was not living with her father, the parents are not together anymore. He has been interviewed by the police, but nothing makes him a suspect either. Now, a customer at the diner where Mekayla was last seen saw her leave at the same time as a man who had a fiery cross tattoo on him, and he was carrying some white bags, and apparently she was also carrying a white bag. Like the RCMP was looking for him, so he reached out and he said that he was just holding the door for Mekayla. So nothing happened with that man either. So that also led nowhere.
He's in the surveillance footage.
No, it's a customer
Oh,
who saw the both of them leave at the same time.
how do you remember that though? Like, how do you and I go to places like I don't remember people coming in and going.
Well, there's people that have a lot of like, I don't know,
Memory,
memory. Like I do remember when something is weird.
I guess, but I don't know. Like for like what you just said, like oh, he was just help opening the door for her. Like no one's gonna pay attention to that
Yeah, well, I
except this
guess.
person.
Yeah, well, I guess the customer remembered seeing that girl, and then she saw that.
Oh, the news story.
Yeah, I see she, but it's not even said if it's a woman or a man. The customer, but which is really sad about this whole story is that there's not really good leads to figure out what happens. Like there's no good leads to help the police with their investigation. There was many tips that were
Yeah.
called in, including sighting of Mekayla in Vancouver, Calgary, and Moncton. But
Damn. She was on the West Coast and then she was on the East Coast.
well, that
Moncton?
is people thinking that they saw her. Like, is
Oh.
it true? Is it not true? Like, maybe it was, but like nothing was conclusive because the police looked and they didn't find anything. Even the mom went to Vancouver to like hand out flyers of her daughter because she heard that maybe she was over there, but like nothing conclusive.
Right.
So as of now, the investigation is still active by the RCMP. In 2022, the RCMP collaborated with the Washington State Patrol to raise awareness by displaying Mekayla's photo on trucks in case like she would have crossed
The border.
the border, yeah. Offering a reward for any information. So yeah, there's a good amount of effort and dedication to solving the case, even though like there's no major breakthrough. Also, there was like many fundraisers that were done, like a concert or whatever, to raise fund to get a reward fund if ever you have any information or Mekayla is found. Yeah, there's like many donations, like the Sobeys or whatever gave money. Like a lot of people got involved. Like Remax, I saw on the website Bring Mekayla Home. Like there's a lot of people who gave money. And last time I checked, as of today, there is a $100,000 reward.
To finding this girl.
Yeah. Under certain conditions, but like if you bring her back, like you get the reward, I guess. But $100,000, like, yeah, that's a lot of money. So like if you know anything on honestly, like you should say something. So whoever you are, if you're listening. So just a reminder, when she was last seen, Mekayla was wearing a teal infinity scarf, jeans, 3/4 burgundy coat, burgundy suede boots, a plaid backpack, which was pretty full at that time. Her hair was blonde, wavy, and down. She could be wearing glasses because she did wear glasses, but apparently she didn't wear it all the time. She also has a tiny scar on an ear. She had acne at the time. I don't know if she still does, if she's still there. And she would have self-harm scars on her legs. So the two more like logical theories about where, like what happened to her would be that either she planned to escape and like leave her life and she went God knows where, or she was met by foul play. Like maybe she was like abducted, or like some people
Kidnapped her?
yeah, for like human
ransom?
trafficking. Oh, no, human trafficking probably, or like
Prostitute?
yeah, maybe for that. I don't know. So that's the two most possible theories. I didn't dig deep into like all the web sleuths theories.
Sleuths? Web sleuths?
Yeah. It's like
What's a web sleuth?
it's like people who like find information on crime. They like dig deep and they just talk about it on a website.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, you can look into it. It's pretty interesting. But like some
web sleuths?
yeah, web sleuths.
Okay.
But like it's often like theories, like I don't want to say like out of your ass, but like is it really true? We don't know. So I didn't want to dig into that and just say like random things where it's like I think it's important that we find her, whatever happened to her. Like is she still alive or not? Was she met by foul play and someone killed her, or like
she just changed her whole identity?
Yeah, or like is she like stuck into like some sort of prostitution
ring?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what happened? So if you out there have any information about this case, it's really time to open your mouth. You can call 911 to say whatever information you have about it. You can also call the RCMP. We'll put the numbers on the description. And you can also call Crime Stoppers, which is anonymous. Okay, so if you know anything, this is anonymous. So that's 1-800-222-TIPS. TIPS. Or online. at CanadianCrimeStoppers.org. So if you know anything, just reach out to any police, basically. So yeah, that was the pretty sad story of the disappearance of Mekayla Bali. Because honestly, we don't know too much what happened. And I did do a lot of research. Like I had like so many tabs open, and like it was always the same information repeated because we don't have that much besides like whatever was caught on camera.
Well, I can tell you, I don't feel at ease sitting in this chair. I feel like catching a plane and going to the province of Saskatchewan and finding this lady.
Right? Like for me too, when I listen to like missing people, I just want to go out there and like find these people, like look for them for like forever.
But why would she cause harm to herself? Like, was there anything happening at the house?
Well, it doesn't look like there was anything happening. She might have had like a relationship, like any teenager. It's not always easy with your parents when
Right.
you're a teenager. So maybe that was just the case. And like a lot of kids, when they're like teenagers, they will self-harm because they don't know how to cope about certain things. Like I personally didn't do it, but like I know some people at my high school who actually did, and I did see some scars on some arms and some legs. So yeah, it can happen when you're really unhappy and you don't know what to do and how to fix it, because all you can see. Now that's the thing. If she had depression, like all you can see is just this black cloud and you can't see anything beyond, above. Like you just see dark. So you turn to whatever can make you feel better. Is it to make you feel something because everything else makes you numb? Or like, is it just like to feel that pain and stop feeling the other pains? Honestly, I don't know. It's pretty sad. Anything else you want to say about this case?
I hope they find her.
Yeah, same. Seriously. I really hope, because
8 years?
yeah, 8 years. So she would be 25 by now. If she had any reason to leave, maybe now she's like at peace with whatever, why she wanted to leave. Because I've heard, I don't know if I said it, but like I've heard that she was trying to make friends online. Just like she posted something about like, I don't have any real friends, so just hit me up on Snapchat.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I want friends. Like in real life, I don't have any. So like maybe she just hated her life and she tried to go somewhere else. Like that can happen. But like 8 years later, do you come back or not?
Who knows? Maybe tomorrow we'll hear about her in the news that she finally showed up.
If we hear about it, honestly, we're going to keep you updated about it if we have any news. Like for any case we're going to do, if we get any news, if it's like a unresolved case, whenever we get updates, we're going to
Do it.
a little update. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, thank you for listening to our first episode of I Hate Mondays podcast. So don't hesitate to reach out on our social media platform, Instagram, I Hate Mondays podcast, or Facebook, I Hate Mondays podcast as well. If you want, like
and subscribe and tell your friends, because we're going to come out swinging in a good way.
yeah, leave us a reviews on any platform you're listening, Spotify, Apple.
All those podcast platforms.
Yes. Thank you for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Goodbye.